Good evening. This is Amy Forsyth, and I will be presenting my final project for my advanced object-oriented class. To get started, I just want to say that I am very upset that my final project didn't turn out like I had planned, and I ended up having to go with a plan B, which I have been working extremely hard on for this whole afternoon. I had started my plan B, quote unquote, initially to get all the design patterns in, and then I created the new one to kind of implement that, but in a cleaner scale in a website. So the one that I had worked on all this time that I will not be submitting, I would like to just show. I do have a lot of time spent on it, so I would like to present it. I am using Tomcat as well as Java Derby database. I started off with MySQL, but I couldn't find a way to embed it, and I was worried about submitting it. So I switched over, and I think that's when I started encountering problems. Up until then, I didn't have any problems with my database. So I said, well, I'll go back and use MySQL, and it didn't work either. So, and then on top of that, I started having problems with my web.xml. So anyway, to make a long story short, here it goes. Debugging. Be taken to a login screen, and up to 4 days ago I could get past this point, which really makes me want to cry because I worked so hard. Okay, see, the database itself is right here, and you can see that I'm in there, just not working. Okay. Then if I could get logged in, you would be taken to where you could go to the administrator panels. Oh, and I didn't want to go there. There. And again, because it does interact with a database, I'm getting the 500. I'm not getting, I commented out the section that does the database stuff and wrote to a file, and it did okay. It's just, it would have taken me a lot longer to code around it when I already had something already kind of working. So I decided to go with my plan B, despite all the fact that all the work I put in this. It doesn't look like a lot, but it was, and I wish I could get and show you more of it. Can't tell, I'm pretty upset about that. Okay, so let's go back and visit Plan B. And Plan B is definitely a little more scattered. I do have a somewhat model view controller layout, but the good thing with this project is it does meet all the design pattern requirements. My website project only had one of them going for it, and that was the MVC. This one I'm actually using the iterator as well as the abstract design pattern, and also strategy and MVC. So without further ado, since this one meets all the requirements, let's just go for it. Saying that, it did not meet my proposal that I submitted. Instead of a scheduling for privates and stunts, I started off doing a class register to see if the students were in a class before they could take privates. Anyway, I had all these elaborate ideas, and I think I got ahead of myself. This is reading from a file. It also writes to the file. let me see. Let's go here. And then also all classes, reading from file, all coaches, coach details does not work. I just threw out the removed. And if you didn't notice, they also have a number associated with them, kind of like you would in a database. Same thing for these two up here. To meet the file requirements, let me get you there as soon as I find it. Okay. Here's where it was coaches. There's also one for students in there. The class that is doing that, if I remember correctly, yeah, there's where I'm actually reading from them and reading and writing from them. Well, just reading on this one. And there's also one, anything that would have mock after it is generally file IO. So I think that this will be it for my presentation since I am getting close. 6 minutes. All right. Hope you have a nice evening. I have it still running somewhere. And okay, there goes my tomcat. Well, have a nice evening. Thank you.